Hey guys, welcome to another video. In this video I explains how to spot enemies in PUBG Mobile. These PUBG Mobile settings and tips will help you find enemies and get those juicy kills. If that sounds interesting, then let's get started with the PUBG Mobile tips. In a game like PUBG Mobile, spotting an enemy before they spot you is really important. Even when they spot you first, you should be able to find the enemy once they fire the first bullet. Graphic settings. PUBG Mobile has some really good graphics. But those high graphics come at the cost of reduced frame rate, especially if your device is not that high-end. The style should be kept smooth because it has low contrast and looks good even in low quality. The low contrast is important to make enemies appear darker in lighter backgrounds. Try keeping anti-aliasing on only if you have high-end device, or else try to keep it off. It smoothens the pixels on the edges and helps spot enemies. Higher resolution screen will make it better as pixel density will be higher. Set the brightness to the max for even better results. Turn off shadows at higher settings, because above smooth graphic settings, shadows start to appear, which provide a high visual field, due to which our brain has to process all that information. This often causes us to miss certain important pieces of information which the game is offering us. I would suggest smooth settings, but you can go with balanced as well. Eye movement. Movement catches the eye. This is why moving targets are easier to detect as compared to stationary targets. Whenever there is an enemy on terrain, he causes odd spot at his location. And eye movement is a great way to detect this oddness on the plane, because in a way you are moving a stationary target. Eye movement helps a lot, and to understand how important eye movement is, take a look at this example. The guy lying on the grass was missed because the vision was focused at one point, that is at the crosshair of the 괅ᴏ. Even a slight eye movement would have helped in spotting the enemy. Another mistake which players make is tunnel visioning. You should keep looking around you by using the free look tool, so that if someone sneaks up from behind, you can react to it. Map awareness. What I mean by this is that you need to be aware of what's happening around you. For example, if there is a popular city close to you or a supply drop near you, then you need to be cautious, as most probably, enemies will be there, and you should keep an eye on that location. In the end circle, buildings are the places where enemies usually hide. Also, you should avoid buildings as enemies will go there to hide or in search of other enemies. Instead, you should use the terrain as your cover. Sound. Sound plays a very important role in PUBG Mobile. The sound in PUBG is directional in nature. So, if you've been playing without headphones, then you are really at a disadvantage. In the mobile version of PUBG, you do get markers on minimap, but they fail to give the appropriate location. This where you should take advantage of the sound. Different heights have different sounds, so you can use it to figure out at which floor the enemy is at. Different grenades have different sounds, so you can tell which nade is thrown at you, or when the enemy starts to cook a nade. Footsteps and vehicle sounds can be heard from far away, but markers only appear when they get close. Looking for movements. This is the most important rule and the best way to spot enemies in PUBG Mobile. While the grass, the tree, and all other things can distract your eyes a lot, they don't move. If they do, there is a high chance that there is a player right there, especially when they are moving horizontally on your screen. Muzzle flash. This is an easy giveaway for any shooter without a muzzle flash hider, compensator or suppressor on their weapon. The visible flashes of light from the muzzle of a weapon being fired is a clear indicator of a shooter's position, even if they're obscured by leaves, bushes or any structures. As the flashes are usually in direct contrast to the immediate surroundings, this makes them easy to spot and unmistakable. Keep an eye out for overwatch positions. When traversing the map, be sure to keep an eye out for positions where a sniper or an enemy with a scoped weapon might be situated. Use free look to look around when moving. Make a mental note of their bearings so as to cycle through each one of them quickly when taking fire. These same locations can be used for cover from incoming rounds. Learn how to snap. Snap your field of VIEW as opposed to slow fluid movement, literally, from point to point when taking fire or trying to spot enemies. It's easier executing this technique on the PC and mobile. Snap around 360 degrees to check for enemies very fast, and also to cycle through snipe points that have already been noted. Also snap if taking fire from behind, instead of slowly rotating the camera around. Listen carefully. Consider playing with proper headphones to get a better listening experience, as PUBG Mobile is well optimized for sound and audio information. When trying to detect the origin of gunshots, remember that every gun has a distinct sound, even with a suppressor equipped. Try to become familiar with the sound of every gun, as knowing the gun being fired gives an idea of the distance from the shooter and their likely positions. For example, the sound of shots from a sniper rifle can let a player know the shooter is a good distance away, likely at an overwatch position with a clear line of sight. This could be at the window of a nearby building, behind a tree, or on a hill. Cycle through each one checking before moving towards any position for cover. Change orientation. Shots coming from ahead and behind a player sound the same because PUBG relays directional information from the left and right better than from the front and back. Change the orientation of the character by moving their head to either the right or left. This helps in listening for the shooter's position. When the sound of the weapon being fired sounds louder in one ear of the headset headphone more than the other, that's the direction the shots are coming from. There are 3 sounds a player hears when a shot is fired towards their direction. There's the sound of the gun, the sound of the bullet whizzing past or making an impact, and then the crack of the bullet when it breaks the sound barrier. Pay close attention to the sound of the gun and disregard the others. Only the sound of the gun will assist in determining the origin of the shots and the location of the shooter. Looking for signs. When looking at a compound, you can check if there are any open doors or any cars nearby to tell if anyone is there or not. You also want to take a look at places with weird colors as well. When a player shot their gun, there will be flashes coming out from their weapon, allowing you to pinpoint exactly where they are. Focus on potentially dangerous spots. Through playing the games, you will learn that there are certain places that people love to be in, such as bushes, compounds, big rocks. You would want to focus looking at their area first, prioritizing places that people can have a clear vision of your position first. These rules above are the most essential things you need to remember to spot enemies in PUBG Mobile. You should be doing great by applying those rules in your games. Here, we will give some more additional small tips and tricks for you to spot enemies better and hide better in PUBG Mobile. Bots can detect enemies for you. Sometimes a bot will just come out of nowhere and shoot at a hidden player for you. It doesn't always happen, but it does happen. It's best to have situational awareness at all times when moving on the map and know where to expect fire from, usually from behind and the flanks. When taking fire, first check places that weren't being watched for incoming shots. Try not to spray randomly or spray aimlessly. Shooting without first acquiring a visual only gives away your position. Listen for the sound of the weapon as opposed to the bullet crack and the sound of bullets whizzing past or making impact when trying to locate a shooter. Use a tablet. A tablet has a much bigger screen than a phone. The bigger the screen, the easier you will be able to spot enemies. Get to the high ground. High ground will give you the most vision, allowing you to spot other players easily. When you spot an enemy, mark them on the map. Mark them so your teammate can tell where they are. About how to mark enemy in PUBG Mobile, just open the map and tap one where you want to mark. Choose the right outfit. The ghillie suit is always the best outfit you can get in PUBG Mobile, but you won't always be able to get one in every game. However, you can choose which skins you wear before entering a game, so you won't stand out and get spotted easily. Move from covers to covers. Covers are your best friend. Just move to a safe cover first and then look around for enemies. Anyway, that's all I got for this video. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel right now. Just click on the subscribe button below this video. Let me know what video should I make next by leaving a comment below right here.